Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Do you like Deepak Chopra? Me too. I think he's great. He's got such a smooth voice. And he says such inspiring things. But you know what? He's got something wrong. And I know I'm like standing here saying, ooh, Deepak Chopra got it wrong. But I do disagree with what he said about following your bliss. Stay tuned and I'll tell you why. Hi, it's Laura Giles. Thanks for coming back. And I'm talking about following your bliss. Now, Deepak Chopra was not the first person to suggest that we follow our bliss, but I think he was one of the most influential ones and helped to put out this idea that if we follow our bliss, we're going to be happy. But how many of you have done that? Did you just throw out everything and say, hey, I'm going on this journey, I'm quitting my job, I'm getting divorced, I am traveling somewhere exotic, and then things didn't quite pan out? Well, I don't think that's the reason why we do it. So the original person who said it, I think, was Joseph Campbell. And when he said it, what he was talking about is following your bliss so that you can have a sense of being here, being alive, having an experience of aliveness. And I think that following your bliss will give you that. So I'm speaking from my own experience that has happened. And sometimes that your choices don't lead to happiness. They lead to misery and they lead to struggles, but that's part of being alive. If you think about the whole wheel of life, it doesn't stay stuck in summer. It doesn't stay stuck in comfort. It's always changing. And being alive is engaging in the change, and it's engaging in the wonder, and sometimes it is about being uncomfortable. So I think if the target is to be happy and successful and have all of this money, then you're kind of missing the point of being alive. There's no point that where we go here and then we stay there at the top. I think in the West, that's kind of the goal. That's like when we say that somebody's made it and they've achieved it, it's because they're here. But really, if you're engaging in life, then it goes around. So sometimes you're the student again. You're the fool. You're the beginner. And that's good, because that means that you have come to the point of incompetence and you're breaking new barriers. And that might not be that blissful, and that might not be that comfortable. So when I was a professional dancer, I loved every minute of it. I loved performing, I loved teaching, and I woke up every day feeling very passionate. And there were parts of it that weren't really all that great. So I liked the teaching and performing part of it. I didn't like the business part. I didn't like marketing. I didn't like going after contracts and going after business and coming after money so that I could stay in business and keep doing it. Fortunately, that was only a tiny part of it, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of that. But if we chase all the things that just make us happy and never do the things that don't make us happy, then our life's going to be really unbalanced, and we can't keep things going. So I hope that following your bliss doesn't mean to you that you don't ever have to do anything uncomfortable. Like, maybe you do have enough money, you can just pay people to do all those things you don't want to do. It's like the movie Click, and I probably reference this a lot because I think it was a really, really great movie. Maybe not the greatest entertainment, but it had the greatest message. And that if you fast forward through life, and if you don't stay present in the things that you don't like, you could miss a lot. One of the things that I see in past life regression, both in my own and other people's, is people spend a lot of time going lifetime to lifetime and not being there. It's drudgery, they hate it, they check out, and then it's over. And then they're reborn and they do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And spending time in depression and anxiety is exactly that. So anxiety is about worrying about what the future is doing instead of being here right now. Depression is about numbing yourself so that you don't have to feel what's going on right now. Feel it. It's life. It's exciting. It's what it is. So it's not always going to be fabulous, but it can be blissful if you're just like, wow, this is absolutely great. So let me give you another strange example. I know I'm a weird person, so kind of hang in there with me. This might not be like the typical experience, but it is my experience. So one time in a past life regression, I felt like I was somebody who loved and lost. Let's put it that way. Okay. And I've never felt grief before. I have had loss, but I feel like, you don't really lose people because you're always connected to them. Whether if they're gone across the country, living in the house next door, died, just not talking to you right now anymore. Whatever, they're still right here in my heart. So I never felt grief before. But in this experience, she was drowning in grief. I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. And I couldn't believe how much it hurt to not have this person in my life anymore. And it was, I'm kinesthetic, so I kind of feel things. And after the session, I could feel this, and it was like a really intense, cathartic 8 hours of just gut-wrenching grief. And it might sound like it was horrible, and it was horrible at the time, but at the same time, so her experience of it, which I was feeling, was really horrible. But my experience of it, because it's kind of like, when you have a past life, it's like you're you, but you're also that other person, was exhilarating because I never felt grief before. And I was like, wow, so this is what grief is like. Oh my God, it's so intense. This hurts so much. And fortunately, I didn't know what was going to happen, but it did end. And when it ended, I was just felt so fortunate that I had that experience because it allowed me to empathize with other people. Now, when people talked about, how it feels to have lost something, I could be like, oh yeah, I know what that feels like. Yeah, that's pretty awful. And my life is richer because of having had that experience. And now let's say that it happened to me in this life for real, and to my body, that would still be good because it helps me to be a rounder, more whole person. So that's kind of what I'm asking you to think about. When you're thinking about following your bliss, yes, go for what you want, achieve your dreams, have a wonderful time going for it. But I wouldn't make anything really the goal. Say, okay, once I get married, I'm going to be happy. Once I get this degree, I'm going to be happy. Once I buy this house, once I get this car, once I go to Jamaica, whatever it is, I'm going to be happy. Just be happy. Find your bliss right now. As I'm looking around right now, let's see, the sky is pretty wonderful. Everything's really green. I came back from Peru and everything just poofed out into aliveness, and you can hear the birds chirping. So there's so much bliss to be had right here, right now. Even if it weren't a pretty day, I have memories inside of me. The rain is glorious. All kinds of wonderful things happening every day that you could be blissful about. So let it be a blessing. Be here, experience what you're experiencing, and let every day be a great one. So love to hear your comments, your experiences, your questions. Please like, share, and subscribe. It does help our channel a lot to grow and expand, and I hope to see you on another Pan video soon. Ciao!